Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Thunder on MRL Broadcasting. Tonight we bring you the ARCA series from Kentucky Speedway here as we enter round 3 of our playoffs here on Friday Night Thunder. I'm your host, Snake, and it's been a hell of a ride through these playoffs. I'm rejoined by my partner in crime here, Smoking Joe, in the booth this week. He's doing a little bit of double duty. He's going to be producing and giving a little bit of the color commentary. Smoking Joe, welcome.
Thanks. We got a lot of this going on with the broadcast here as of late. Trying to knock all of them out. You know how hard of a job it is to get everything done. Tonight we got Kentucky. I feel like we've been racing to Kentucky a lot here recently. Tonight we got Kentucky going on in the ARCA cars. We're going to see what these guys can do under the lights. It's been a really heated battle here the past couple of weeks under the lights in this series. It's been really, really exciting just to see how far everybody has come across the season. And let's see how these guys race here tonight at a mile and a half. Been a while since we've been to one of these.
Absolutely. Great to have you back in the booth, Joe. And like you said, it seems like a lot of our MRL and our compadres over in the Bonfire Racing League just have had Kentucky in heavy rotation here lately. It's fun. It kind of makes me feel like if we can bring Chicagoland back to the NASCAR Cup schedule next season in real life, maybe there's a way, maybe there's a path Kentucky. But that's another discussion for another time. We're here in round 3 of the playoffs tonight. It looks like the air temperature is going to be 81 degrees. It's going to be a nice, perfect for racing, 89-degree track temperature here currently during our practice. Looks like a little bit of moisture in the air, but we're going to remain partly cloudy with a light breeze. So overall, it's going to be just perfect conditions for racing, in my opinion. So I'm pretty excited, Joe.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited as well. And to touch on how we're at Kentucky this week. So, you take a look at the schedule here over the course of the season. We just started the chase 2 weeks ago in Michigan. We saw Daniel Plant-Smith pull out the victory there. And then last week we saw Justin Parham get the win at Darlington in a chaotic final lap. Moving us to Kentucky here this week. See, you got any favorites coming into tonight?
Well, it's just like you said, Daniel Plant-Smith, one of our front runners every week. Justin Parham, he was in the winner's circle last week, had an awesome interview with him post-race, and he wished he made that extra start so he could be a part of this, because that would really have padded his stats, and he'd be a serious contender. So we'll have to see what Justin Parham can do next season as a full-time participant. But yeah, Daniel Plant-Smith, always in the mix. Joe Volpis, another one, could be up front there. As we look at our chase standings, Joe Volpis, he's our current leader. It's still just a model of consistency, still chasing that elusive first victory of the season, but definitely racking up the bonus points where it matters. Daniel Plant-Smith, though, he started with a little bit of, I believe it was a 13-point deficit to open the playoffs, open this chase, and he's closed it down to 4 points, so he's in it, well within it. And then you look at Matthew Fritz, the top 3 are unchanged. He's only 13 points behind after Darlington last week. So, you got to look further down in the standings here. Jax Duvall, the Florida man, loses a position this week, but he's only 14 points back, so it wasn't like that was a big loss. I believe he and Fritz were tied the week prior. So Steve Lewis, he moved up the ladder. He's still well within reach. Matt Novella as well, your series win total leader with 3. He's well within there in your top 5. You can basically see essentially the top 8 really have a great shot here, Joe, where 9th through 12th, they're going to need a lot of help and a lot of good luck to go their way.
Yeah, I believe everybody 9th through 12th has missed a race. Jay Stinson not having the greatest of luck the first 2 weeks out. David Owens, of course, he was not here for Darlington, not here tonight as well. Buddy Sully, he missed out, of course, in Michigan to start the chase. He is here tonight, so he'll be on the track able to gain some points. And Sean Walden, of course, missed the first 2 races. Seems like he's having some equipment issues and is not going to be able to grid up tonight either. So those guys down towards the bottom of the standings pretty much in a deep hole. I don't think you're going to be able to climb out of it. But the guys towards the front, a win tonight could really just shift anything around for them. Matt Novella, of course, the series leader in wins. He could easily get himself right and back in the middle of everything with a win here tonight. That would be pretty incredible from him. Same thing, Steve Lewis get his first win of the season. Duval could get his second win here, get his way back into it. Fritz been so consistent. He might get a win, get back into it. It's just so much that can happen. I just don't know what's gonna happen. I think we're gonna have to see what happens here in qualifying, and who runs up front for the race. Trying to avoid all that dirty air.
I think so. Of course, dirty air, the worst enemy of a race car driver. Top 8 still within play. 9th through 12th needs a Hail Mary and then some. Unfortunate circumstances for Rayshon Wingfield, not going to be able to make it tonight. We hope to see him back in action next week. So after practice here, it looks like Buddy Solly here had the hot lap there at ripping a 30.260. Daniel Plant Smith just increments behind him, as well as Joe Volpis. So the top 3 there, and top 5 really very little separation. Get to 6th, and then they're a 10th off the hot lap. So a lot of familiar faces. Like we said, Walton up there. Walton was able to practice and start in the session, but sadly, I think that will be it for him. So we'll look forward to seeing maybe somebody like Zach Panzarella there with the 10th fastest practice time. Maybe Team DDI gets a charge to the front today as we ride on board with Buddy Solly here as qualifying is underway on Friday Night Thunder. The Missouri native in the 21 machine looking to make up for that lost ground with the Michigan race absence. So Buddy Solly, one of the many fast drivers in the series and in the league across all the series. Very consistent, has a very methodical approach to things. So we'll see what he can do as we ride with Jax Duvall here. The Florida man, he's definitely been going about things his own way, been very consistent, always right up there in the top 10 when it's money time. So look forward to seeing what he can do tonight. Juan Delgado, the 14 car out of the DDI camp. Juan Delgado having a great first season here on Friday Night Thunder. Consistent finishes, great competitor. Just been a little hit or miss the past couple weeks, but I know he's looking to get back on track and show those flashes of speed and consistency that we saw for the regular season. And then riding on board in the J Daddy 60, Jay Stinson, I'd say it every week. This guy's just going to sneak up and he's going to steal one here. He's just going to steal it. And we're looking to see if he can do that tonight. Matt Novelli, your current series wins leader in that 56 Monster Energy machine, looking really, really stout out there. So we'll see if Matt has something for Justin Parham, who's currently on the pole. And it looks like he rips off a really, really good time. Very close, but just not enough to steal that pole from the 99. So Matt Novella, very impressive as we ride on with Tommy Fox. Tommy in the double lot. Tommy was having a really good regular season, Joe. Can you tell us more about what Tommy's got going on right now?
Yeah, Tommy's been running very consistent all season. Been able to point his way, of course, into the chase. Right there, right in the middle of the battle right now, about 6th place.
Look at Chrome Dome.
That car, I don't know if that car is as shiny as his head, but he got to stop pretty quick. I'll say that much for him. I know last week he was smoking some of those Camels in the porta-john while he was going to the bathroom. Lost 2 laps, came back and finished on the lead lap in Bonfire. Great run from Jerry Rose a few weeks ago. We'll see what he can do tonight in ARCA. Here's another one of our top contenders, Zach Panzarella. Recently won a championship in MRL in the Truck Series right here at Kentucky. So we'll see if any of that translates over to the ARCA car for him tonight.
I just love the color combo on that one machine. Looking really sharp, Zach. Great job on the design there. Love that scheme. So the one car at Panzarella, the California West Coast contingency there. I think, Zach is always super fast and really really aggressive, but he's calculating in his aggression, and I just love watching him on the track. So we'll see what the number 1 can do tonight. Chevy's looking really good. As you see, the 99 of Justin Parham has been ejected from the pole position there as Daniel Smith has taken the pole. They ride on board with Jerry Rose here. Many of you know Jerry by his alter ego, and that is Mean Gene Money. So Jerry Rose The voice of MRL in that 51 car. He loves to drive and get in the car when he's available, but when he's not racing, he's that siren sound, that silky smooth voice of MRL, and we love him for it. So we'll see what that 51's got in store for tonight. Looks like we're going to have another pack of cigarettes on board, so let's go racing, boys.
It looks like he's going to not be able to finish his second lap, and he's going to start 15th because qualifying ended on him.
Yeah. So, the sun went down on him, but he will be gridding up. So, Daniel Plant-Smith, your pole winner here at Kentucky, the 031 car, Team Delusional, he's just ripping corners and finding speed everywhere we go. He's just more and more you seeing him up to the front. So, Daniel Plant-Smith, your pole sitter tonight. Justin Parham outside P1 there. Justin in the 99, always with the speed, always with the consistency, no surprise there. Matt Novella going to start inside row 2 there in P3 in that 56 machine, that Monster Energy Ford. And Joe Volpis outside row 2. So Joe in the Valvoline, the Roush 6, the Mark Martin, whatever you see, he'll race it. That 6 car always looking really, really sharp out there. Steve Lewis, a great result, 5th place qualifying effort. Steve looking for that elusive win. Steve has been just a model of consistency as well, just pointing his way into the playoffs with a strong performance. So looking to see a top finish out of him tonight. Zach Panzarella ends up in 6th. Ricky Mandela Sr. in the number 3. The Animal House Customs Racing number 3 in 7th. Tommy Fox, who just alluded to him earlier, Joe, a double aught in 7th, in 8th, I should say. And Buddy Solly, the 21 in 9th. Mike Benton, the other Animal House Customs Racing counterpart, round out your top 10.
Yeah, great to see him running, of course, the Dennis Puckett tribute scheme here tonight at Kentucky, of course, as well, for his home racetrack. So that's great to see him qualify up front for tonight's race. Starting there in row 6, you got Matthew Fritz and Jay Stinson, 2 guys trying to point their way back into the championship battle. Behind them, you got Jack Sanders, winner a few weeks ago at Talladega, alongside David Brenner, who's looking for his first win of the season. And I think we're going to have a sneak peek to a new paint scheme for him tonight here as well. Starting alongside each other in the row behind them is going to be Jerry Rose and John Beverly. And then we got Jax Duvall qualifying 17th with Juan Delgado starting alongside him in 18th. Further on back throughout the field, we have all the guys that decided not to put down a lap time. So Colin Bollinger will start in 19th here tonight. Sean Walden will not grid. He is out of the race already before it even starts with his wheel mechanical issues. Kevin Kyle, Robert Babcock, John Flamian, and Brandon Garand are going to round out the field here. So 24 showing up on the results, but only 23 going to grid. Just as many as gridded last week there, see? So the field very consistent.
A solid field. You know, anytime you can get your fields consistently in the mid-20s and, you know, threatening on 30, that's a great, healthy size for a league, and I think it really sets itself up for some amazing racing, some really good competitive battles. So your pace car is out. It's going to lead them out here as we're all pacing and forming up. Daniel Plant-Smith is going to start on the inside of row 1 there. And the 99 looking sharp up top there in 2nd. And it looks like Volpis is going to run that late 90s Valvoline scheme that I remember growing up and used to love watching every week in action. So really cool. Shout out to Volpis on that scheme. And then you see Novella inside there, the Monster Energy. Zach Panzarella, once again, alluded to his awesome-looking paint scheme. Steve Lewis with the Air Louis machine, shouting out MRL Broadcasting once more. And Mandela looking sharp behind him in the Ford number 3 there, the Animal House Customs Racing. So pace car is going to lead them off here. We're about to go green, Joe.
Not yet. We ain't going green yet.
It looks like there was an issue there gridding up and everybody forming. So we're going to take an extra lap around. Pace lights are off once again. So you know, a little early April Fools or late April Fools. But we'll go around one more time. Joe, who are you looking to see that could be possibly racy tonight? Maybe take a charge or take a stab at this thing.
I think right now our favorites are the guys that have qualified up front. The front 4 are heavy hitters in every series across both MRL and BRL. And then, of course, in sixth place, you got Zach Panzarella, defending champ of MRL Thursday Filler Truck Series, winning the championship at Kentucky. Those are the top 5 I'm looking for tonight. And if I'm going to go with an underdog for tonight, that's not the top 5. Not really that much of an underdog, in my opinion. That would be Buddy Sully. He's going to start back in the 9th position. That would be my long shot, I guess, if you want to say that it's not in the top 5.
Who has to have it tonight, Joe? Who has to have that result?
The guy that really needs to have it the most tonight, I think, to stay in the championship battle is Jax Duvall. He's starting towards the rear of the field, 17th place back there. He's starting back in the middle of the field towards the rear. Got to be careful, make sure you don't get into any trouble tonight.
Well, hopefully we got everything figured out. The pace car looks like it has driven off, and Daniel Plant-Smith's going to lead him off as we go green from Kentucky tonight on MRL Broadcasting. Daniel Plant-Smith fires out of the cannon there. Justin Parham on the outside matches him speed for speed. They're side by side on the restart, and it's lovely, lovely restart as he gets a little bit of shove from Novella on the bottom. So you'll see Daniel Plant-Smith. Will he slide up? I think he loves to hug the bottom there. You can really get some good speed if you can get on that yellow line, and he'll just slide up there and take the position. He's going to be our leader entering turn 3. A nice sweeping set of turns in 3 and 4. A lot of room to race. A lot of lanes here. As you see him going 3 and 4 wide, you're going to see a lot of that tonight as Daniel Plant-Smith is going to be your leader after the first green lap here at Kentucky.
Look at the 3 wide action behind him, though. See Matt Novella on the bottom, the 99 to Parham on the outside, middle, Vulpes on the outside. He's going to slip further back now, side by side with Zach Panzarella and Steve Lewis, and they're going to go 3 wide into turn number 3.
All together down there, as you see Vulpes running the pretty high line, but there is a little bit more hay to make on the bottom 2 lines. As you see Zach Panzarella moves up, slide jobs in front of Vulpes, going to wrap the top. You see Parham on the bottom as lap 3 of 100. Daniel Plant-Smith still your leader. Matt Novella in second place there. He's kind of separated himself, and I don't know if we're going to try to go single file here a little bit, or if it's going to stay as chaotic as it was on the start with a 3 and 4 wide action. It's been very exciting thus far, as you see Matt Novella there just riding along, staying within reach of Daniel Plant-Smith. And we have caution lap 3. Caution is out. We're a little bit early in the action tonight. Caution out on lap 3 of our 100 lap main feature from Kentucky Speedway tonight on MRL Broadcasting. Looks like some damage on the 77 there. Looks like Beverly was involved in something. We'll have to go back and take a look at the replay. But that 77 still riding that throwback from Darlington the week prior. We'll look forward to seeing him back in that Hendrick Cars scheme again. But as we look at the replay on the right-hand side, to go side by side here, you see Beverly down there in the 77. He's kind of creeping down, lazily going down, and Delgado held his line. So Beverly, victim of maybe just hugging the bottom just a little bit. Juan Delgado, definitely, you can see him on the bottom there in the 14. He's just holding his line. Beverly just lazily drifting. I think he got a little target fixated on the car in front of him, so he's going to go for a ride, and I think he's going to have to go ahead and use the fast repair on that. Pretty smacked up, so it's a little fender bender. Could Delgado have maybe checked up or maybe gone down a little bit, possibly, but definitely just some hard racing a little early, and Beverly is the victim.
Yeah, we want to make sure we definitely want to make sure we have a little bit more give and take as well. Definitely not the kind of move that I expect from either one of these drivers, to be fair, to have contact early in the race.
A little early for that.
It does seem like they're usually 2 of the more cleaner drivers, especially try and ease their way into the race. Very uncharacteristic to see the 2 of them being involved in something, especially that early in the race.
77 going to have to blink and you missed it on the fast repair, so he's going to get a fresh skin on that car and try it again. Looks like very minimal damage to Delgado as he was able to squeak by. So I think a couple guys might be coming in to possibly top off, but it is a little bit early, I would say, Joe.
Yeah, well, the fuel window is about 40 to 42 laps. Yeah, and we only have 2 additional sets of tires, so taking fuel here isn't really going to get you that much into a new window. Just might be able to prolong that first run just a little bit more, and be able to have fresher tires at the end of the race. That might be the whole idea here. So you see Jay Stinson, he came down for a splash. Matthew Fritz, David Brenner, Kevin Kyle, Brandon Garan, Jerry Rose, John Flamian, and then, of course, John Beverly, of course, coming down to get his car fixed, as well as getting some fuel in it as well.
So absolutely there. If we can pan back and see that 22, you had mentioned David Brenner previewing potentially a new scheme there. And we get close up on that. That's looking really sharp, that 22. Look at a puppy on there. That looks really cool. So if gap car, David, that looks sharp out there.
Yeah, very nice paint scheme. The new Greenies car, I think he wanted to debut it for another series, but it ended up working out where he's going to bring it out here in the ARCA series. So kudos to him. Very cool paint scheme. And I do want to thank him for all the work he's put in off to the side for me as well. Great guy, great teammate as well.
Yeah, David, always a very competitive racer, just a good guy all around. So David Brenner showing off the new skin there. Daniel Plant-Smith, he's going to still be your leader here. It looks like Matt Novella is going to be outside lane on row 1 there, so the 56 is going to be outside. Zach Panzarella is going to be inside row 2, and Joe Volpes outside there. So Justin Parham slid back to 5th on that after starting 2nd. So that's your top 5. You got Steve Lewis in 6th behind them. So we're looking to see if we can actually, get going racing green here a few laps and see how these guys approach the strategy now that we've had a caution. Pace car is off, Joe, so we're going to go green here once we hit the restart zone.
Yeah, let's see how good of a restart these guys get on the front row. A little bit old tires, maybe a little bit of wheel spin.
And it looks like Daniel goes pretty early in the restart zone. He fires off there, and he's out. So Daniel Plant-Smith shot out of a cannon, and he already drifts up there. And he's going to have a 7 car length lead as we go through 1 and 2. So he timed that perfectly. He caught him napping, Joe.
Yeah, it looked like the one car might have had a little bit of wheel spin on the start as well behind him. Couldn't follow him through, and now side by side with Novella for 2nd place.
Yeah, so that's it. When you start in first gear, that's the risk reward. You might hook up or you might be spinning them, and it looks like he caught him spinning a little bit as they go side by side for 2nd. Joe Volpes just patiently threatening behind and 4th, and Justin Parham rounds out your top 5. You see Steve Lewis in line there. So just keep an eye on this, Matt Novella and, Zach Panzarella, they've been teammates in other series running out of the Daily Drivers Incorporated camp, so maybe there's a little bit of an alliance or some friendly strategy from, people that drive as teammates in other series.
Yeah, we'll see how that really works out here in this series as well. Of course, Volpes and Novella are teammates on Thursdays now on Gulf Coast for the truck series. So a lot of conflicting sort of things going on. Speaking of conflicting, you see that 3-wide action going on behind him there. Steve Lewis was the meat in the sandwich right there.
What I'm really noticing is that Steve Lewis looking like a microwaved hot dog in that 3-wide action. It's a lot of tightly packed together racing here, Joe. Is that something indicative of the track or the setup or a combination of both? Because they're just side by side here, and I'm not noticing really any big separation as we have these clusters of cars going at it.
I think this has more to do with just the way the track and the way the car is. Of course, iRacing tried to really tone down the draft with this car, but it doesn't really look like it's had that much of an effect at this track. The draft is king right now, and getting as much clean air as possible as well. The one in the 56 got really close. I don't know how much they're working together there, C.
No, I think it was,
look at him
for the same
behind
spot.
him, too.
And they were all over the place scattered, so it's really getting aggressive out there. You see them all running tight. It's very draft reliant here, as you see almost like tandem style racing as they go. They just side by side there, and then they just fan out in the turns, and it's just chaos how they all just bunch it back together. As you see Sanders, Lewis, and Parham there. And Sanders little contact turns Lewis into the infield. That's going to bring the caution out once more. Steve Lewis, a little damage there as he goes for a ride and landscapes for us a little bit on lap 12 of 100 tonight.
Yeah, lap 12 of 100. Just want to, of course, take the moment to recognize the loss of Dennis Puckett. Great guy, and this was his home track. Every time we come here, it's just it's going to be pretty heavy in our hearts. Unfortunate that a caution came out here with a wreck on our lap 12 that would usually be silent. But I just wanted to say a quick little thing about him. Of course, this is his home track, and I know going forward in this series, this race will be on the calendar for every season, and there'll be an additional 12 laps added on starting next season, 112 lap race for every season going forward.
So we do not go silent on lap 12 this week due to our caution coming out. However, we do remember Dennis Puckett and his contribution and his just great guy. So we look here, as you see, the 77 has a little bit more. I think that might have been the wrong replay there. Look at the action. Look at that. You got three wide action. Sanders on the inside, Lewis in the middle again, and just two cars converging there. Just kind of one of those racing deals. I think Sanders was holding his line. Lewis just got a little bit there, kind of closed in on him there.
Yeah, just a tough situation here. We'll see. They're trying to go three wide. Louis trying to give room to the guy on the outside. Sanders is trying to complete the corner, and they just come together. And the 88 goes for a ride there. And look at all those donuts he's going to put down there. I mean, I guess Louis is now a free lawn care service for Kentucky. Somebody's got to tell him he's got to do it after the race, not during it.
Yeah, he carves out a pretty cool design, but there's still a lot of racing left, Steve. So let's take care of that car and we'll save the shenanigans for later. So we're under caution once more on lap 13 of 100 tonight on Friday Night Thunder. Daniel Plant Smith has been your leader wire to wire thus far. We really haven't had that long green flag run yet just to really see where everybody's at. But the small dose that we got on that last stint, Joe, was that very draft reliant, a lot of hard charging, a lot of three wide action. So it's been very exciting out there, and it's been a lot of action to kind of chart and track. So what will be going on in the minds of some of these guys? Are they looking for track position, or are they just trying to keep up with the draft and maybe do pit strategy to gain an advantage?
Yeah, so you saw a lot of guys come down and pit there that time. Novella let them off pit road. Those guys all came down and took fuel again from Novella on back. So sixth on back, everybody came down to take some fuel. And the idea of taking fuel there, pretty much right now you're on the edge of making it on one stop from here. So the idea is if this thing goes green, we try and make it to about lap 56 at the earliest, probably about 56 to 60, if we could really stretch out this tank of fuel, if the race goes green, of course. And then take our first set of tires and then we have a set of tires at the end of the race if there's a caution. That's the whole idea of those guys that pitted for fuel. Everyone that stayed out is on the normal strategy still. They're going to have to pit twice, though, under green if it goes green.
Do you think anybody's taking tires at this point, maybe just right sides?
I do not think anybody. Maybe we saw Mike Benton take tires as the pace car ducks off.
So we see him gridding up once again. Daniel Plant Smith leading him down. Jack Sanders in the 25 on the outside. Daniel Plant Smith fires off early in the zone again, and he's hard charging and gone and out again. Jack Duval in the 84 behind him on the low line there. And Daniel Plant Smith is going to enter turn one unopposed. Jack Duval settles down in a second as he clears the 25 of Jack Sanders. Jack Duval, the Florida man, in second place as we are in lap 15 of 100 tonight. You're going to see the three wide action here as we enter turn three again. You already see him back there forming up. It's getting crazy. Panzarella, Kevin Kyle, Matt Novella there. Steve Lewis back up there again after getting his car serviced and taken care of. Three wide again. Oh my, Zach Panzarella all the way down below the yellow line. 3 wide again as Kevin Kyle and Steve Lewis ride it high as Matt Novella slides underneath them. Great action here, Joe. Look at all this chaos.
Yeah, these guys are getting really racy here, especially after taking fuel only, to be fair. I didn't expect these guys to get so racy up front from taking fuel only. Everybody's still on the same equal tires here at the front, so I'm kind of shocked that everybody's racing so hard. I figured everybody would be a little chill.
You would think it would 10 to go instead of 17 laps in right now, but I think there's something about being close to the front that's going to be very beneficial. You want to stay with the leaders. You want to try to be on the same strategies. 84 is inside taking a peek at Daniel Plant-Smith there. A little fight for the lead as he's really had no contender up to this point. The 84 with some momentum on the inside. The 56 giving him a little push. The one trying to get up to the 31's bumper there, but I think they're going to be tandem as we enter turn one. Look at this side-by-side as Zach Panzarella looking to make it 3 wide.
Yeah, that's really way too high for turns 1 and 2 in my opinion, and it's not going to work out well for him. And you can see Daniel Plant-Smith able to re-clear Duvall for the lead of the race.
So, you know, Daniel Plant-Smith, he's in those preferred, that kind of middle groove there. The 56 and the 84 were trying to work together to gain that advantage on the inside, but the 031 prevails. The one car, that he maybe hurt his car a little bit. He just seems a little bit off and not really as hard charging. He may have scraped the wall there that last lap.
I think he's just trying a little bit too hard as they get really racy there. I think he's just trying a little bit too hard. You just got to be careful. We don't want to use up these tires too soon, and I think running this high line this aggressively is going to use up those tires too soon for him.
It's going to be like a cheese grate contact with the 56, yes. And you see the 88 taking drastic measures to avoid going all the way down on the bottom. As you see the 84 and the 031 at it again, the 84 is going to go ahead and maybe potentially take the lead if he can finish the job and clear him. And it looks like the 84 is going to do it at it too. Jax Duvall, your new leader on lap 20 tonight, the Florida man.
Wow, look at this great racing, though. You know, these guys are doing a good job right now of not really making that much contact. You know, the racing, though, is very tight, and you can just see it. Look at those moves going on. Ricky Mandela making a move on Kevin Kyle going to the inside. We'll see maybe Joe Volpis trying to maybe take a 3 wide with them. We'll see what he decides to do behind him.
Looks like he's going to stay behind Kevin Kyle for the moment in that Mobil 1 machine, but incredible that these guys are just racing each other so competitive and racing each other so tight, yet there still is that element of respect and competition. It's incredible to watch as you see Joe Volpis there going to tuck behind the 3 of Ricky Mandela as Kevin Kyle's going to stay up high. Jax Duvall will retain the lead here, and it looks like they're going to be a little bit of single file. Your top 5 will be as they all follow Jax Duvall being a little bit of the Pied Piper here at Kentucky.
Yeah, you can see a little further on back, they're going a little side by side there, see?
They sure are, as you see Tommy Fox, Matthew Fritz, the 77 of Beverly, the 21 of Sully, the 57 of Garand. Just incredible side-by-side racing all the way through the field tonight. So a lot of parity going on. Everybody's really racy, and there are a lot of evenly matched cars on the track. It's just an amazing driver's track and a great race up to this point.
Yeah, you can see how much side-by-side there is. Looks like Daniel Plant-Smith trying to set up a move on Jax Duvall for the lead and take it back here in turn 3.
Plant-Smith digs inside, takes a peek at the 84. They're side-by-side going into 3. What's going to happen when we come out of 4? And it looks like they're still side-by-side. Hard to tell. Looks like Duvall is going to get credit for this lap just by a half a car length in there. Daniel Smith really just running hard on the bottom there by himself. You see Matt Novella on the outside trying to gain an advantage on the 031 and take second place. And it looks like Matt Novella is going to have second for now. Daniel Plant-Smith still staying staunch on the bottom, not going to give it up. As you see the one getting a little sideways there, a little contact from the 3. It's really getting dicey, guys. Keep it together.
Man, the 3 almost got the 1 out of control, and look at how much it has now bottlenecked these guys. They're 3 wide.
Wow, it's a gaggle of geese and a partridge in a pear tree at Kentucky tonight in the ARCA series, Joe. As you see, Matt Novella is now your race leader as we're a quarter way through our main feature tonight.
Man, this
Jack
is some
Duvall's going to take
insane
the lead
racing.
back now. They're just swapping leads. This is great. You want to see these lead changes. It really brings just a level of excitement to the viewer and excitement to us in the booth as Duvall tries to put a block and Novella down below the yellow.
Oh, this is getting really bold. It's going to be 3 wide for the lead, maybe.
It's going to be tight.
Duvall covers it off.
Duvall shuts the doors. You see Kevin Kyle on the outside taking a sniff. He wants a shot at this lead on lap 26. Duvall on the inside, Kyle on the outside. Enter turn 3. Matt Novella behind. It's going to be 3 wide in 3 and 4. Daniel Plant-Smith and Justin Parham lurking behind. Look at Jay Stinson and the J-Daddy. He's in the mix.
Look at it, 3 wide now for the lead here going down the front stretch. Justin Parham getting in the mix. Daniel Plant-Smith, Louis right behind him. Jay Stinson, everybody's getting in the middle of this one.
Jax Duvall by himself, trapped in the sucker hole. You see Kyle on the outside, Novella on the inside. The guys go, a little contact with the 99. He hooks the 56. It's the big one at Kentucky. More cars. Oh, boy, the 77 almost catches air. Caution again from Kentucky.
Oh my goodness, how many cars just got tore up in that one?
I don't know, Joe, but it's looking critical. We're going to have to take a look at the replays on this. It just looked like that tight racing was just a powder keg waiting for somebody to light the fuse.
That was some insane
Zach
racing.
Panzarella missing a nose right there.
Happened.
The left front on the machine won't rotate, so he's going to be in need of that fast repair. As we go on back on our chopper view for the replay, we're coming out of turn 2 on the backstretch. Kevin Kyle, your leader, you see behind them the contact with the 84 into the 99 triggers the 84 to bounce off of him and spin the 56, creating this. Look at the oh boy, the one car just goes for a ride. Fritz gets caught up.
It might be easier to avoid to name who missed the wreck and not who was involved. To be fair,
I'm telling you that one.
Look
collected,
at this. This is a 6-car missing the wreck.
It collects most of the field, gets some kind of contact from it, and that is an amazing wreck avoidance from Vulpes in the 6. It's kind of hold your breath and hope for the best on that one. As we take a look at the chase view here with Buddy Solly in the 21, you see Buddy gets on the brakes, knows it's coming, tries to see the bottom is probably the best way, and he's able to safely skirt by, nearly getting tagged at the end by the 3. But as you see, the entire field is coming into the pits, and it's going to be just some carnage to address. Look at that contact. So the 84 gets a little wiggly. I guess he didn't feel the 99 outside him, but, you know, the 99 was there the entire time, so I just ran out of real estate and just triggered the big one.
What a crazy wreck that was right there.
99 held his line, and, yeah, the 84, it got a little aero tight, but it triggers the big one. As you see everybody coming out of the pits. Kevin Kyle, you know, he was up there in the front leading laps, and that 31 machine was looking pretty stout tonight. As we look to the 031 of Daniel Plant-Smith, he's going to inherit the race lead on lap 29, as your pole sitter will gain that lead position. So it's the battle of the 31s when we go back to racing green, Joe, with Joe Vulpes, and looks like Buddy Solly going to be row 2 when we restart.
And looking through the field, this looks like a consensus decision here on lap 28. Everyone has taken tires. So everyone's going to be on the same strategy from here to the end. If it goes green, pit lap was lap 28, so we're probably looking at lap 70 at the latest to make that final pit stop. I'd say the pit window will open on about lap 60. So 60 to 70 is going to be our number if it goes green from here.
So if we go green, this was our longest green flag run of the race thus far, and it was a very thrilling green flag stint. So we'll see who's going to be the early takers around lap 60 or low 60s, and who will try to stretch it out and go to lap 70 and maybe beyond. It's going to be really exciting to see when we go back going green here. And we're starting to transition into the nighttime, so you see the headlights on the pace car. We are starting to get dark here at Kentucky, so we will be finishing under the lights, and I think that's going to be amazing as the track cools down maybe a smidgen and the racing heats up.
Yeah, we'll see if these guys maybe calm down a little bit from what was going on out there as well. Man, we had some pretty crazy racing, but we want to make sure we make it to the end of the race, boys.
I tend to agree with you there. You know, I think they were testing the boundary, seeing what the car could and couldn't do with all that dirty air and all that side drafting and draft effect going on. You know, you got 70 laps. When we do go back green, you want to take care of that equipment somewhat. You want to have a race car around you to finish in. So pace car off. We go green here, lap 30. It'll be lap 31 when they cross the line. Daniel Plant-Smith on the bottom, Kevin Kyle on the top. It's going to be the battle of the 31s. So we hit the restart zone. Daniel Plant-Smith fires off out of a cannon yet again. He's got this restart thing down, Joe. He is out again. Restart lap 1. Kevin Kyle and Joe Volpus going to be going for second place as we enter turn 1 and 2 here. It looks like Volpus on the inside, Kevin Kyle on the outside. Looks like the 6 has a little bit more momentum on exit. And he's going to claim the position, slide it up in front of the 31. Buddy Solly charging down into the corner in the 21 and that 3 into turn 3. Jay Stinson going to make it 3 wide on exit and 4, the 60 of the J-Daddy machine. He wants to get to the front, and they're 3 wide. Look at the 03. Look at the 99 behind him. Justin Parham wants a piece of this too. Colin Bollinger, your Monday Night Series champion and Wednesday Night Series champion. Colin Bollinger in a KFC machine. He's looking to get a bucket of chicken at Kentucky as he wants to be Colonel Sanders. Look at that. The 22 gets a little wiggly there. A little contact maybe with the 51.
I think the 51 and the 22 both did the same thing, got the wall a little bit. Looks like no harm, no foul, though, as they're battling just outside the top 10. Fringe top 10 right now for all these guys. Right now, I want to give a few shout-outs throughout the field. So starting in 20th place tonight was Kevin Kyle. Right now, he's the biggest mover. He's up to 4th place right now. You see him, he was just leading a few laps ago as well. Looking a little further on back, making up a lot of spots. John Flamian, he's up to 8th after starting 22nd. Looking like he's going to make a move for 7th. As well as Brandon Garand up 14 spots into 9th place here. Great run for him, and give a shout out to Jerry Rose rounding out the top 10 at this point in the race.
Yeah, so some big movers and some big gains capitalizing on the few guys that could not continue. As you see Jack Sanders and John Beverly just unable to continue, too much damage. Zach Panzarella down 2 laps, Steve Lewis down 2 laps. So a lot of victims of that big one, a lot of carnage from that, but there were a few that were able to fix their equipment and race on. Joe Volpus now your new race leader in lap 35 of 100. Jay Stinson in the J-Daddy 60 behind him. Daniel Plant-Smith in 3rd. Kevin Kyle 4th, looking to challenge him for 3rd on the outside. And Colin Bollinger rounds out your top 5, having a little battle with Buddy Solly as well. So things look like they've kind of calmed down just a little bit. They don't seem to be as aggressive, Joe. I think there was a little bit of a lesson learned there.
Yeah, and I think these guys are going to try and be a little bit better on the tires this time here as well. Want to make sure that we can go the full distance on this fuel run now, since we did put on the first set of tires. There's only 1 set of tires left, so I think everybody's in a little bit of a different mindset. We want to make sure there's tires at the end of this run so we can take that last set as late as humanly possible.
So it looks like there's a little mutual cooperation as these guys are a little bit more inclined to maybe just run a little bit of single file and maybe cut a little bit more brakes so their equipment lasts. But you could have fooled me there as they're a 3 wide situation with Rose, Brenner, Garand, and Flamian. There's still a little bit of a hornet's nest there back in the field. These guys want to assert themselves and get to the front so they can challenge these leaders. Don't fight too much, boys. You'll lose touch with them.
Yeah, so it is pretty crazy, just the way these guys are racing, pretty wild, just to see what's going on throughout the field. I think what's we're really seeing here, though, is there's a couple of guys that are having some trouble making their way through the field. We're looking at one of them right now, David Brenner, trying to work his way back to the front. And right behind him, Matt Novella, he's up to 11th, but he's having some serious trouble cutting through this traffic in the dirty air. And, you know, we want to make sure you don't get involved in another wreck and end the race. And then that will really, really take him out of any chance of winning the championship here tonight.
You saw the 57
right behind him as well.
Exactly. You saw the 57 come down and shut down Novella's move, and you see Matthew Fritz all the way in the back there. So a lot of these contenders and weekly front runners, you know, they have their work cut out for them. So they're going to need to try to not lose so much time. I think that was a little more contact with the wall out of the 51. Be careful there. You know, you don't want to dull that shiny finish. So it looks like there's a little bit of a breakaway as the top 7, top 8, top 7 have kind of broken away, and 8th place in Flaming is trying to lead the charge and get him back to him. So Joe Volpis in firm command as we cross lap 40 of 100 tonight. Jay Stinson in second. Kevin Kyle rounds out the podium. Daniel Plant-Smith is in fourth, and Buddy Solly rounds out top 5. I think, you know, it's like you said, just take care of the equipment. Let's just ride for a little bit, guys. Kind of calm down, and, you know, maybe a little bit later in the run, try to see if you can do a little something.
Yeah, you know, it's very interesting just to see how these guys are probably saving some tires. You know, I look further on back, you know, Daniel Plant-Smith, he gave up the lead. He fell back to 4th here. I would assume he's probably trying to save a little bit of tire. I don't really see any scenario where he'd give up the lead and clean air otherwise. Colin Bollinger, we know he's the king of saving tires on Wednesdays in the Xfinity Series, so I'd assume we might see him be really good on a long run as well. You know, I'm looking right behind him. Justin Parham has been the king of the ARCA cars since he became full-time in the series, and he's pretty much just hanging on to the back of this group. I would not be surprised if he got up front and had a say about who wins this race before it's all said and done.
Yeah, I think it's a battle of the bucket of chicken right there. You know, you got your KFC original recipe, and then you got your Cajun style there with your Bojangles. But alluding to Colin, you know, I love riding on board with Colin Bollinger and just seeing the smoothness and the precision of how he approaches the racing. As we go on board with Colin Bollinger, your Monday night and Wednesday night champion, just watch it. Just seems effortlessly. He just, you know, he just kind of enters the turn really smooth. Not a lot of wheel input. Very, very smooth on the throttle and the lifting, and just a clean exit using the draft to his advantage. And again, just nice ease into the corner, not a lot of input or extra information, just really taking care of his equipment and just really efficient out there. So, you know, if you guys want to get better, watch a guy like Colin Bollinger. You know, he's really smooth out there and very fast.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job here tonight as well, running in the 5th position after taking a lot of weeks off from the series, coming back for Kentucky here tonight.
So yeah, he's definitely back in action. As we're at lap 44 of 100 tonight, and Joe Volpis just loving that clean air running out front. That's got to be helpful to the car too. He can kind of just control the pace and put the car really anywhere he wants right now without having to worry about being packed in that dirty air or having somebody try to disrupt it on his quarter. So Joe Volpis enjoying the benefits of the lead here as we're getting near to halfway. So very exciting here. Maybe we can settle down and have that full fuel run, maybe see some green flag pit stops this time around when we enter the window in about 15 to 17 laps.
Yeah, you know, I think we got to take advantage of this green flag race. And what do you say? And give the fans a little crank it up.
I think so. Put it to 11. Headphone alert. We're gonna crank it up on MRL Broadcasting Friday Night Thunder style. And we're back. We're halfway from Kentucky tonight on MRL Broadcasting's Friday Night Thunder. We're racing the ARCA series, round 3 of our chase. Joe Volpes, your leader at halfway. Jay Stinson challenging on the inside in that green machine, number 60, J-Daddy. And Kevin Kyle in the Mobile 1 round out your top 3. Been really compelling and exciting racing, Joe. I was just thinking as we were cranking it up, you know, it's really been a treat to watch. Even though we've had the big one, it's just been really tight competitive racing. It's been just a joy tonight.
Yeah, it's been really good racing throughout the field pretty much here. You know, you see these guys up front battling really hard. You see Daniel Plant-Smith and Buddy Sully now battling for 4th. You got Parham and Bollinger in tow with them. But, you know, the thing I'm looking at is what this green flag run has done is it's created 2 distinct different groups. So you got the front 7, and then you got David Brenner leading the second group, which is almost a full 2 seconds behind Colin Bollinger. So a lot of ground to make up for David Brenner in 8th, Matt Novella in 9th, and Matthew Fritz in 10th.
So tell me this, if David Brenner is not able to bring that second group back up within a sniff of the leaders, do they potentially maybe start talking on the comms together and maybe pit early and disrupt the leaders and make them make a decision so they can try to gain an advantage and make some of that time up?
Honestly, I think for their sake, they want to see more of this, the side-by-side by the leaders. But if they don't get that, then I think what they need to do is they need to run it out as far as possible and hope for a caution. Short pitting, I don't think is going to be the right strategy call. I think the tires are going to matter too much if you pit too soon. You want to make sure you're pitting right around each other, or else you're going to be at a severe disadvantage. And you want to make sure, you know, you have a group of people to pit with as well. So maybe short pitting might work in the short term, but long term, especially if there's a caution, they're going to be on the oldest tires in the field. It won't work. They're going to need that caution and stay out as long as humanly possible, in my opinion.
So a lot of action right behind your race leader, Joe Volpes, is Kevin Kyle and Jay Stinson trying anything they possibly can to kind of shake up this lead as they're getting a little dicey. You see Jay go all the way down to the bottom by the apron to try to just get a little separation and build a run into 1 here. He's going to be having the advantage in 1. Can he clear him out of 2? And it looks like Jay will. So Jay Stinson, your new race leader on lap 55, builds his run, hugs 1 and 2 beautifully, and then was able to complete the pass and slide up on exit, and he's going to take your race lead. Jay Stinson, your race leader tonight.
Yeah, great move there. Nice power move to get to the lead for him. I do see Justin Parham looks like he's trying to make his move now to the front underneath Kevin Kyle for 3rd place. I don't think it's going to be too long before we see him battling for the lead here with Jay Stinson, as it looks like Volpes might have used up his stuff a little early.
Yeah, so Justin Parham said, hey, I want in on this party, but he's going to have a Mobile 1 machine and a Valvoline machine to get through. That's a lot of motor oil before your leaders. So Jay Stinson, you know, he was one that we were talking about in the pre-race and for weeks now. You know, he's just going to come up and sneak up here, and he's just going to steal one. Could this be the night? He's really asserting himself, could use a great run like we alluded to.
Yeah, he's doing a great job here so far. You know, he's able to just hang around, wait for his moment, take the lead now with clean air. You know, right before the pit cycle, pretty much. I'd say we're going to start seeing the first pit stops start here in the next couple laps of guys that are desperate. Most of the field, though, I think we're expecting to see him pit here in the next 10 to 15 laps. So great timing to really take the lead in the last third of the run here and see if he can break away with clean air.
I think so, and he's trying to stretch it out. You can really see him increasing the pace and leaning on his equipment a little bit more as you see Kevin Kyle and Joe Volpes side by side battling for second. So that's just going to only help Jay get a little bit more of a gap. A little tight there, So
Kyle's going to be the big loser out of that one.
Got to be careful. So Parham's going to sneak and get that position as well as Daniel Plant-Smith. So got to get that momentum back. The 31 Mobile 1 there looking to regroup and get back up there. But Jay Stinson, you know, he's approaching lap 59, approaching lap 60. So that window is going to open up shortly. I want to see how long he will carry it. I like to think he's been taking care of his stuff and he's really starting to push it a little bit now. I think maybe he'll go to potentially lap 70 or so. I'm curious to find out.
Yeah, I'm going to assume most of this lead group is going to go as far as possible. I just think it's the only play when you only have one set of tires left. You know, you really just have to hedge your bets if there's a late race caution, in my opinion. You don't want to be the guy on the oldest tires because we all know how that usually plays out.
It sure does, and you know it looks sexy when you take the move early, and it's working out for you. But when that yellow flag comes out, it can be your worst nightmare. So I think that's in these guys' mind. They've been here before. They know what the pros and cons are. So I think you know, you see how it's essentially your top 7. You know. So it's basically one group there. So they're getting really tight, a lot of dirty air there. You see the 31 kind of pushing up there with Colin Bollinger, so it got a little dicey. They do work it out, and we're looking at 3 wide there.
Somebody's pitting. I think it's Kevin Kyle.
Kevin Kyle. So Kevin Kyle early in the window, so we were wondering who was going to do it. I didn't think it was going to be out of the lead pack, but Kevin Kyle in the Mobil 1 Toyota coming in for his final service of the night, potentially, at lap 62 of 100. So he's really going to have to stretch those tires about 38 laps.
Let's see if he takes 2 or 4. I'm going to assume he's taking 4. There goes the right side's up, right side's down, and left side's up. So 4 tires for Kevin Kyle.
So he's going to get the full complement of fuel, and he fires off. He's going to go down a lap for that service until everybody cycles through. So hopefully Kevin Kyle can exit in some kind of clean air situation and not lose a ton of time, as Jay Stinson is still our race leader, and none of the other leaders in that lead pack here have broken off the pit. So Kevin Kyle, you're your first taker tonight, Joe.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. I really think that is not the race-winning move, in my opinion. He's going to need to put down some heaters. I think we're going to have to keep a close eye on what kind of lap times he's putting down compared to the leader here over the next 5 to 10 laps, and see if he's actually going to get an advantage out of this.
Kind of makes me wonder if that last couple laps before he pit and having that little bobble there, maybe he pushed his stuff, or maybe he said it's just a good time to break away and try something different. But we'll see how it works out. If we stay green, you know, it could come back and be a great play. So we'll just have to track that as we watch Jay Stinson being essentially pushed by Justin Parham, getting a little bump draft there, working Jay into turn 1. So Justin Parham getting raced the air. And look at the 031 of Daniel Plant-Smith inside there looking for that position. So, you know, they're still battling and kind of like, you know, taking jabs at each other here. So it's really good that it stayed somewhat racy. Colin Bollinger there just waiting to pounce. He's right behind the action. As you see, Zach Panzarella, he's coming exiting the pit. So somebody further back in that second pack, Joe, you know, Zach Panzarella coming into pit. So maybe he's trying to flip this race on the other end and see if he can make up some time.
I don't really think he can do much from 2 laps down, so he's just trying to get whatever he can out of it.
So, you know, that's the unfortunate part of being laps down on a long green flag run. You're kind of just trapped. So hopefully Panzarella, you know, take his final service. Hopefully a couple things go his way and he can get some laps back. But Jay Stinson, still your race leader. As you see, Jax Duvall entered the frame. Jax Duvall, you know, he was involved in that first, that big wreck on lap 27. So you got...
some radio communication going on. The leader is not happy with the 84 there. I think we may have a replay of.
So as you know, Duvall, in an attempt not to, you know, go further down, looks like he's down on the bottom there, you know, and Jay Stinson, he's coming, and the 84 slides up, and then.
Ooh.
A little bit of contact, a little bit of displeasure there.
See, the 84 looks like it's going to let a couple guys go by then.
So the 84 tried to stand his ground. The leader was having none of it. Chatter on the radio, so we'll keep our eyes on that as this unfolds. But Jay Stinson, still your race leader. Jax Duvall going a lap down there and just almost close with the 6 there. Just really, really tight quarters.
Yeah, this lead group looked like they had a bit of trouble getting around Duval. I don't know if that was a communication error or what, but it looks like the leader, Vulpes, and it looks like the 21 may have had a little bit of trouble getting around him here as well. See how that's actually split these guys up a little bit here as well there, see? So right now I'm looking at it. You see Jay Stinson, the 99 of Parms right behind him, and Daniel Plant-Smith right behind him, and then Vulpes and Sali have fallen off. And it looks like because of this, Colin Bollinger's decided to pit.
They said time to bail. It's lap 70, so you're kind of further into the window, so you'll only have to go 30 laps on that last set of tires. They've essentially put nearly 40 laps on this set of tires, so it's conceivable, that they'll have good wear and they can kind of use them up a little bit here and try to make a challenge for the lead and the race win. Daniel Plant-Smith in for his potentially final service of the night. David Brenner as well going to take service here on lap 71 now. And look who's here, Jerry Rose. He's going to get some service as well in that Camel 51 machine. And, of course, Michael Benton in the 12, the Takis machine. He's going to get some service here, having a good run tonight.
Yeah, a lot of guys here coming down pit road. See the leaders coming down behind them. I think they just had a very tight moment there, see. I think things got a little bit wild further on back. It looks like the second group of leaders that just came down, they may have had a close call coming down pit road there, see.
Kind of see them bunched together, so they were really tight entering. Stinson, Parham, Vulpes in for service, Matt Novella as well, so they might have bunched up there. Maybe we can get eyes on that and take a peek. Woo, boy, oh boy. So everybody has different points in which they enter the pitch and at different rates of speed, and Joe Vulpes almost hooks it and goes around for a ride. As you see, somebody behind him went for a ride there.
Yeah, that got pretty nasty right there coming down pit road. The 56 car, I believe he got tagged by the 84 of Jax Duval. So Duval making some more friends out on lead lap cars behind him.
Started out as a great night for the 84, is completely imploded here before your very eyes. Lap 73 of 100. It looks like Jay Stinson and Justin Parham get out cleanly. As you see Matt Novella, Steve Lewis getting service. And you see right there, it's just going through a perfect cycle of pits as Buddy Solly exits. Matthew Fritz in for service. He was going to get credit for leading a lap, and he's going to come in for his service, as will Ricky Mandela in that 3 car. He's going to get his final service of the night as well. So, some guys there just trying to have a solid night and earn points in the most creative ways possible. So Kevin Kyle is going to inherit your lead once this cycles through. So he was your first taker tonight, and I really don't see that big of an advantage. You see Daniel Plant-Smith and Colin Bollinger breathing right down his neck, Joe.
Yeah, this is not going to work out. 14-lap old tires are ready for the 31 of Kevin Kyle. As we take a look here at the last lap times for these guys, Kevin Kyle was 4/10 slower than Daniel Plant-Smith, and you're going to see it right here down in 3 and 4 as he sets up that move.
Smith on the bottom, Kyle on the outside. Battle of the 31s as they're side by side as we go to lap 75, 3/4 of the way home. Kevin Kyle with the slightest of advantages, but I think Daniel Smith is going to have him in 1 and 2 here as he establishes the line. He's going to have the grip and he's going to slide up, and Daniel Plant-Smith is going to regain the lead. Your pole sitter back on the lead here. Lap 75 of 100. Colin Bollinger there in third. He's taking a peek at Kevin Kyle. I think he's sizing up a move here, and we'll look forward to seeing if he can leapfrog to second place and challenge our leader tonight.
Yeah, Colin Bollinger, we'll see how much of alliances play out here. Bollinger not really racing for anything in this series, so maybe he's going to help out Daniel Plant-Smith here with his championship battle with Joe Vulpes. We'll see how that plays out. Or he might go for the win, you never know.
Exactly. He's got a fast car. He's been smooth. He's just been kind of lurking all night, taking care of his stuff. Side by side with Kevin Kyle in turn 3. Maybe he kind of sneaks in trophy hunts and comes home with the goods tonight at Kentucky. They're side by side, so I think he'll be able to complete the pass as we approach 1 and 2. Kevin Kyle not going down without a fight, trying to race hard on the outside in that Mobil 1 machine. He wants a solid finish. He could taste it. Colin Bollinger just a little bit faster, a little bit better grip, and he's going to be able to slide up and complete the pass. So Bollinger and Plant Smith are going to leapfrog your first taker of tires on the final fuel run tonight. Kevin Kyle slips to third.
And while that's going on, the guys that pitted the last out of this lead group, Jay Stinson, Justin Parham, and Joe Volpus, they're running the fastest laps here on the track out of anybody. You can see 2/10 faster there that last time for Jay Stinson, same for Joe Volpus, as they're trying to close down along with Justin Parham, close in on Daniel Plant Smith as the race winds down on these fresher tires.
Yeah, they're coming. These guys were able to stretch it out an extra few laps. I believe they played on lap 70 and 71 respectively, and they are showing the fastest lap times currently on the track. So they are coming. It's gonna be very interesting in the next few laps as Jay Stinson is leading the charge to track and get Daniel Plant Smith. As looks like he's opened up a little bit of a gap on Bollinger.
Yeah, it looks like we might be at the calm before the storm, I think, C. I think we might have a little time for a little bonus. Crank it up for our fans.
A little 2-for-1 special on your Friday Night Thunder. I like it. I can dig it. Let's go. And we're back after a bonus crank it up, lap 83 of 100 from Kentucky Speedway on Friday Night Thunder. You're watching and listening to us on MRL Broadcasting. I'm your host, Snake, and I have Smokin' Joe in the booth with me. We're just having a great time. It's round 3 of our chase, Kentucky Speedway. What more can I say? Daniel Plant Smith, your race leader, your pole sitter tonight as well. Colin Bollinger in the 03 KFC machine in second. And looky here, Jay Stinson in the 60 and Justin Parham, the guys that pit last, like you said, Joe, they're here. So it looks like we're sizing this up, and it's going to be an incredible battle here in the final laps from Kentucky tonight.
Yeah, right now I think the draft matters more than anything. Kevin Kyle, on the other hand, he has fallen way off the pace here. On 25 lap old tires pretty much at this point. You see looks like he's gonna concede the position to Volpus, give up that top 5 run. Joe's gonna have a little bit of trouble though. He's about a second and a half behind the leader, but he's about a second also behind the next car in front of him. So he's not really gonna get any sort of draft effect. So he's gonna need these guys up front to start getting racy if he wants to get back in it, I think, for the race win.
It's gonna be tough as you see Stinson giving bump drafts to Colin Bollinger as they're trying to reel in Daniel Plant Smith. Stinson on the freshies, sensing it's go time with 15 to go. You don't want that Pennzoil machine to get too far of an advantage, even at a Kentucky like this. As you see, almost a little bit of contact in the wall from the 99. Parham really going for it as well. They're taking no quarter. These guys are using their stuff for all that it's worth here. It looks like it's going to be a battle royale as we get inside 10 laps. Parham looking to the outside. He ducks back in, doesn't have the momentum. And we see the
Goes.
what you alluded to with Vulpes in the 6th there. He is definitely at a disadvantage. He needs those guys to go at it and attack each other a little bit more if he's going to enter frame.
Yeah, as these guys, it looks like the battle's pretty much settled down for a second. I just want to give a quick shout out to some guys further back in the top 10. Jerry Rose right now, he's rounding out your top 10, running in 10th after starting 15th. Great run for him. He's right now in a battle with the lap car of Jax Duval. Looks like Duval's making some more friends on the track, as a side note there.
Well, I do believe they had a little contact on lap 1.
For 10. So, yeah, it looks like the battle for 10th is really going to start heating up here. John Flamion having a great run back in 11th. You see Brandon Garand, he's in 12th right now. Great run for Brandon Garand right now. But on the flip side, you know, just to say a few guys in the chase not having a good day. You know, we were just talking about how Duval not having the day he wanted from that big wreck. Went a lap down. He's in 16th. Novella, his trouble on pit road, he's a lap down in 17th now as well. Zach Panzarella, it looks like he's maybe done, or he's taking his last set of tires, many laps down. So his chase hopes are really in the toilet right now as well.
Yeah, so unfortunate to see that one car laps down, just unable to recover, just attrition. As you see, Steve Lewis as well, another one 3 laps down after that incident with Jack Sanders early in the race, you know, and then the big one on lap 27. So Steve Lewis, one of your consistent performers every week, that just really going to hurt him in the points this week. So we'll have to see that after all the dust settles. But we're coming to 10 to go as Jay Stinson is mounting a charge on the inside, with Justin Parham on the bottom helping. You have Lance Smith up top with Colin Bollinger. They're side by side with 10 to go.
Yeah, we were seeing alliances here. Stinson, Parham working together. Bollinger, Plant Smith working together. And you know what? Looking at these last lap times with these guys side by side, Joe Vulpes was about 3 to 4 tenths faster than these guys that last time. So let's keep this graphic up. Let's see if he's able to close in more with the way these guys are battling up here.
Oh, so this is what we said before. We need Vulpes needs these guys to go side by side and race and attack each other. And it looks like they're going to kind of settle back down. But I think maybe Vulpes is almost close enough to get a little sniff of that draft. So I think he's not going to be far behind for much longer, as we have 9 to go. Daniel Plant Smith, your race leader. Jay Stinson right behind him, maybe cooling those tires a little bit, taking another thought at another approach here. He's taking a peek, but he's not going to commit. Daniel Plant Smith dives to the bottom in 3. He's going to have the run. Going to carry the momentum out of 4. Jay Stinson right behind him. Going to try to take it a half a lane higher to get some fresh air there. See if he can mount a run. He's going to dive right behind him. So he's sizing him up, playing head games. So we'll see if Daniel Plant Smith is mirror driving or not. But Jay Stinson trying to give him a little bit of let him know I'm here.
And the 6 cars creeped into the picture. It's now a 5-car battle here with 7.5 laps left in the race.
Top 5 breakaway. I don't think Buddy Solly's going to have enough time or enough help to get up there, so it's a top 5 breakaway. Daniel Plant Smith is your current leader. As we come to the line, it'll be 7 to go. Is going to mount up. Look at Jay Stinson on the bottom. Stinson looking inside. They're side by side. They're going to be side by side in 1. Stinson with a slight advantage entering 1. They're going to hide each other close. They're going to hold each other tight. And they're going to stay side by side, so they're just battling right now, Joe. This is getting exciting. Parham willing the 60, helping his teammate in other series.
Oh, look at the 99 go way up there. He's going to try and get momentum on the very high side.
Parham mounted a charge up top, and it looks like Smith is going to be able to hold. Look, that is wild right there. They were 3 wide, and the hole closes. Bollinger has to evade. The hole closes fast at Kentucky.
Man, look at how crazy it's getting behind Daniel Plant Smith. He's done a good job to this point defending the lead, able to hold on to it throughout all these charges from Parham, Stinson, and Bollinger to this point.
Daniel Plant Smith, he says, I'll take on all comers. He's fighting the battle of his life here, retaining the race lead. As you see Parham looking down low, trying to wiggle him a little bit loose with 5 to go. It's really ratcheting up.
There he goes to the outside. Let's see if he's able to hold on that right rear, make something happen.
Arm up top, he's right there side by side on exit with Smith. He's going to have a slight advantage on the high side. Smith is going to dive to the bottom. Parham's going to stay up high, going to try to carry that momentum. Look at Bollinger there right in between, kind of looking. He's going to stay behind the 99, and then the 03 is going to drop down and help Smith. Look at Vulpes up high with Parham. It's just swapping positions. It's chaos.
Yeah, these top 5 are under a blanket right now. I think if something goes wrong for one of your leaders, it's going to affect all 5 of them and change this race entirely.
So they're really getting dicey there as they're swapping positions. Justin Parham is going to have your race lead by about a car length. Smith on the inside, Parham on the outside. Smith's going to get a little bit of momentum. And Parham's going to go down for the block. They're going to come to 3 to go with the line. Vulpes trying to push the 99, trying to wedge his way in there. Will he make it 3 wide? He's going to stay up high.
I think the 99 got a little wide there. Might cost him.
Yeah, he got a little wiggly there. You'll stay close to that 31. Enter 3. Looks like Smith is going to have a little bit of advantage there. As you see, the 99 is trying to carry the momentum up top. Smith inching ever closer as they're side by side. 2 to go on Friday Night Thunder from Kentucky.
Yeah, look at how close these guys are here in the battle for the win. Man, Parham, he's going to get a little tight here, it looks like, at it too. I think this might help out Plant Smith. Oh, the 60 gets loose in the 03.
Stinson gets really loose. The 99 affected by a little bit of dirty air really high. Smith is going to gain the advantage, and he's going to slide up top and take your lead with 1 to go from Kentucky on Friday Night Thunder. Joe Vulpes entering the picture. The battle for second is heating up as Daniel Plant Smith is going to lead with the white flag.
I think Plant Smith may have made the move there that won the race. Great move in there by him. I don't know if Parham's going to have another one left in him, and I think the 6 cars just run out of time as well to make something happen. I think this is Plant Smith's race to lose here in turn 3.
Set of turns, one more set of turns. As you see, Daniel Plant Smith has the clear advantage. Justin Parham trying to get everything out of that race car, but it's going to be all for naught as Daniel Plant Smith comes to the line. He is your winner from Kentucky.
Wow, what a finish to that race. Man, it got really chaotic there at the end.
That was a lot of excitement.
Let's take a look.
The last 15 to 20 laps were exciting. Justin Parham is going to finish 2nd. Joe Vulpes is going to finish 3rd. Jay Stinson, after leading that charge, is going to be in 4th. And Buddy Solly is going to round out your top 5 tonight. Daniel Plant Smith with an incredible command performance at Kentucky tonight, Joe.
Yeah, as we go back and we take a look here, what happened there with the 60 and the 03, a little bit of contact, almost a big wreck there with 2 to go. That would have completely changed this race there at the end for everybody. And then you can see the battle up front. Justin Parham just overdriving the car a little bit too much, and Plant Smith taking advantage of it there.
So, it's one of those little racing deals. Everybody's kind of going for it. It's the last couple laps. Nothing malicious there, just a little bit of contact. But you're right, Joe. If that turned into something a little more serious, that would have turned this race on its ear with a green-white checker. And I don't think anybody had tires remaining. So what could have been incredible. But what did is Daniel Plant Smith tonight, as he is enjoying his victory lap and his donuts from Kentucky tonight. What a race, Joe.
Yeah, what a wild finish that was. Let me see if we can get our race winner up into the booth with us here as well.
Yeah, we have confirmation.
Get his perspective on what happened here tonight at the end of this race. I think we got him.
All right, so we do have confirmation. So tonight's winner, Daniel Plant Smith, joins us. Daniel, what can I say? It was hard charging action. That final stint after green flag pit stops with just under 20 laps to go. What an amazing sequence. Congratulations. What do you have to say?
Woo! I tell you, man, that was a battle at the end. Oh, man. I just got to thank my teammate, Celtics. If it wasn't for his bump drafting that he did at the couple laps to go, I probably wouldn't have had a shot at it because I know everybody wants to work against me in a sense because everybody's trying to, win their race and etc. And the last person they want to see is probably like me winning and etc. Especially knowing how hot I've been when it comes to like Michigan and stuff. So yeah, definitely got to think Celtics. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have had a shot. But then it just came down to just trying to block, make moves, and yeah, just try to do what I can do.
Yeah, so Daniel, let's talk about that. You've caught fire lately. You've been mounting a charge. You won at Michigan. You've won tonight. You've been on a tear. We did see some alliances take place there towards the end with Colin Bollinger helping you out. I know you guys run together in other stuff. Colin just really trophy hunting tonight. And then you saw on the other side, you had Jay Stinson in the 60 with Justin Parham in the 99 helping him. And we know those guys, they run together in all sorts of different things. So it was kind of interesting to see that take shape. And with a guy like Joe Volpus kind of hovering around trying to be an opportunist and all that.
Oh yeah, like definitely teamwork is definitely means a lot. But I mean at the same time, like there's no one I want to beat more than my teammate, and I know like if he had a legit shot as well to make a move and win, and he's gonna do whatever he can to win as well. Typically how teammates little battles go and etc. Yeah, I mean it's definitely interesting with how the season has started. The season wasn't really that hot for me in the beginning, and now when it matters the most, I'm starting to pick up a little heat and getting a little fire. So yeah, just hopefully we're able to continue this run and continue from there, and hopefully keep finishing ahead of Opus and grab that championship.
Yeah, exactly. So, Smoking Joe, I know we were talking about it. Any thoughts or insight for a race winner that you'd like to mention or ask?
Yeah, so what do you really think what was the difference that got you the win tonight? Do you think it had something to do with the pit strategy, or do you think it just came down to the draft at the end of the race in the clean air more than anything else?
I mean, to put us in position, I would say probably the pit stops. Not because we pitted too soon or pitted too late or however. I think it just comes down to who is executing on pit road the best. What if that's getting down to speed and time, pushing that limit within pit road, and then getting out of pit road and maxing up your speed perfectly. I think that has a lot to do with it because a lot of people, they try to push the limits and end up getting penalized or etc. Or they might blow it or nail it like some people do and get a huge advantage from it. At the end, tire wear, in my opinion, really didn't matter. So everybody was just basically sending it for the most part. And at that point, you're just trying to block and make moves to try to force all these dirty air on other people and etc. to try to defend and keep the lead.
And then just going off that real quick, how much do you think that tonight's race is really going to play into next week when we go to Nashville? You think it's going to be the same kind of style of racing, or you think it's going to be a little bit more spread out?
I would say it all depends. Depending on what everybody agrees upon and etc. And then what the session's like, what time of day, and how the track is overall. It's just going to depend.
So definitely the big unknown next week as we wind down the season, Daniel. We really enjoy watching your racing tonight, and that was a very thrilling performance. Anybody you'd like to recognize or shout out before we let you go?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Team Delusional as always. LMP as well. Sean, he wasn't able to make the race. So he did kind of give us a little cookout. I wasn't allowed to drink before I had the interview, so PR got on to me last time about it. So Sean had hot dogs ready, so I've been gnawing on that. Penzel, obviously, best motor oil in in the MRL, and I hope to see the broadcast.
Well, you and Sean have a cold one for us here in the booth, and appreciate having you here, Daniel Smith. Your race winner tonight, Daniel Plant Smith from Kentucky.
Wow, what a race we had tonight there. See, I mean,
I'll tell you what, Joe. That was, I mean, that's racing. That was racing tonight. That was exciting. That had all the elements and the suspense and the strategies, and it had a total package for an intermediate track. So glad to be in the booth with you to watch it unfold. So take a look at our race results tonight. Once again, Daniel Smith, your race winner, the 031 out of Team Delusional. He's going to cement his second win of the chase, so that's really going to help his standings. Justin Parham in the 99, last week's race winner. He's going to be your bridesmaid tonight. We'll see what Justin can do next week at Nashville. Joe Volpus rounds out third. Your current, your points leader entering your race today gets a third place finish, so a consistent finish, but he was probably wanting more. Jay Stinson, definitely in solid performance and must-win territory here on out. He finishes fourth, and Buddy Solly, a great finish, solid performance in fifth, so he's going to be looking to build on that. Colin Bollinger helping Daniel Smith tonight. Finishes in sixth. Kevin Kyle took those tires just a little bit too early. He's going to get a seventh out of that. Matthew Fritz started in the back, is kind of up, kind of down, led a lap in that pit cycle. He's going to be eighth. David Brenner, new shiny paint scheme, gets a solid top 10 tonight, so a good run out of David. And John Flamian, the newcomer, the 915 car, John with a top 10, so a great run for him. That might be his best finish thus far in the series.
Yeah, very good top 10 out of him. Looking further on back, of course, some impressive runs from Jerry Rose, getting an 11th place out of tonight. Ricky Mandela Sr. gets 12th for tonight's race. Brandon Guerin 13th. All those guys pretty close together there at the end of the race. Speaking of close together, Juan Delgado able to beat out Tommy Fox, who I think wanted more out of tonight's race to really stay in that chase battle. Speaking of guys that really wanted more out of tonight's race for points purposes, Jax Duvall 16th a lap down, Matt Novella 17th a lap down. They're going to be very disappointed with the way this race went, especially with the big one early and then some pit road trouble as well. Very unfortunate for the both of them. Michael Benton ends up in 18th place here tonight as he finished 2 laps down in 18th. As we go further on back throughout the field, we see Steve Lewis, another guy going to be very disappointed. He finishes 19th, 3 laps down. And then you got the guys that did not finish the race. Zach Panzarella, unfortunately, from that big wreck on lap 27. Pretty much ended his day early. Robert Babcock as well. John Beverly got his day ended from that wreck. Jack Sanders got his day ended early as well. And of course, Sean Walden did not have the ability to grid up tonight due to his mechanical failure, so he did not even start the race, unfortunately.
Never got to start his day. That's unfortunate. So, after week 15, we'll update our chase standings here. I think we're going to have a new first place, as you see with that win. Daniel Plant Smith is going to be your current chase leader on your ARCA Thunder series on Friday night. Joe Volpus, he shed a few points there. He's going to drop to second. He's 3 points back after having a 4-point lead entering the race, so a 7-point swing there. Matthew Fritz will remain in third. He dropped a few more points this week, as well as Jax Duvall and Matt Novella. They retain their position, but they shed a lot of points this week, so they're going to have to dig down deep and do some heavy lifting here with only 3 races remaining. Steve Lewis, big loser tonight as well, caught in that incident with Sanders early, and then in the big one further on, laps down, unable to recover. Tommy Fox in 7th. He remains in 7th, but of course not the finish he was looking for tonight either, so he's going to lose more of a point advantage as well. And Jay Stinson, with that great performance, he moves up a position, and he's trying to help his cause, so a little more out of that from him, and maybe a race win or two, and we'll see what happens. Zach Panzarella, another one taking a big hit with that unfortunate circumstance and putting him laps down, so That's rounding out your top 10. Buddy Solly going to move up too, so Buddy's trying to put it together as well. David Owens missing in action, not in action tonight, so he keeps his fall as we have not seen him in a couple weeks now. And Walton with the technical difficulties, so we hope to see him in action next week.
Yeah, it's it's really starting to shape up, I think, to be a two-car battle at this point, two-horse battle, barring a major mistake from Plant or Vulpes here down the stretch. So looking at the first three races of the chase, we went to Michigan to start the chase. Daniel Plant Smith ended up winning the race. Vulpes ended up finishing fourth. We went to Darlington last week. They finished third and fourth. Plant with third, Vulpes with fourth. Then this week, Daniel Plant Smith gets his second win of the season and in the chase, and Vulpes finishes in third. So Plant Smith has an average finish of 1.73 races halfway through the chase. Vulpes 3.7, and right now that has them 3 points separated from each other. So it's been pretty insane just to see how consistent the two of them have been to run in the top three pretty much every race throughout this first round to this point. And if they can keep that up, it's going to be a very tight battle. Especially we look at the schedule for the last three races. We got Nashville next week, and then we got Rockingham and Las Vegas. It could be a duel in the desert to end the season. High stakes roller at the casino tables there, at Las Vegas to end the season.
Yeah, so it's definitely shaping up to be a heavyweight battle between Vulpes and Smith. You have Fritz and Duval there with the puncher's chance. So they're going to put all their chips in the table. It's going to be a heavyweight bout, but it won't be at the MGM Grand. It's going to be at Las Vegas Speedway. And, just one last look at our Animal House chase standings brought to you by animalhousecustoms.com. We love what those guys do. You can see just how tight it is and, what can happen moving forward. So visit animalhousecustoms.com today for all of your needs. Some wonderful gentlemen that sponsor our series, so reach out to them. So we take a look at the remainder of the schedule graphic again. I just want to point out we're going to Nashville Super Speedway next week, Joe. Your thoughts on NSS?
Yeah, so we're going to be on a bit of a day race streak here. So day racing on concrete again. The last time we did that was at Dover. So we're going to be doing it again at Nashville next week. We'll see how that really plays out. Hopefully the car drives a bit crazy out there. We'll see if we have a lot of passes, and hopefully we can get a little bit more spread out than we got tonight, and not so much pack racing, and the tire wear really starts kicking in.
Yeah, so the concrete surface, the daytime, possible temperatures in play. We'll see what the grip level is like. Can't wait to go to Nashville next week and do the broadcast with you and see the guys back in action. Final thoughts before we close this one out from Kentucky tonight, Smokin' Joe?
Man, what a crazy race here tonight. After the big wreck there in the middle of the race, right around their lap 30 or so, we went back green, and we went green all the way to the end of the race. And that I believe might be the longest green flag run that we've had this season. I think it is, I want to say. We might have had one longer at one of the short tracks earlier this season, but I think that was the longest one to this point. So great racing by everybody after that huge wreck to really just settle down, get into a groove, and make it one of those races that really came down to how everybody came on off pit road, what kind of strategy you played, and of course how you handled the dirty air.
So definitely building on something as the action is compelling and even more dramatic as we go week to week. So please don't miss a beat with us. We'll be back same time next week for your producer and my co-host Smokin' Joe and our producer Buddy. I'm Snake, and go fast or get past.